Magic System. Magic Cultivation Mage Stages. 1. Novice Mage. 2. Apprentice Mage. 3. Adept Mage. 4. Mage. 5. Master Mage. 6. Grand Mage. 7. Archmage. 8. Grand Archmage. 9. Legendary Archmage. 10. Supreme Archmage. 11. Chronomancer Supreme. 12. Mystic Overlord. 13. Mystic Deity. Magic Core and Magic Circle is used to store and create magic. Using both a core and a magic circle allows for versatility in your magic system. Cores provide a constant source of power, while circles can be used for specific, intricate spells. There will be more information and everything about novel will be introduced at that time inside novel and read description, synopsis here. The battle against another universe was a cataclysmic event that threatened the very existence of both realms. Driven by an unwavering sense of duty, the strongest beings of this universe, collectively known as Eldralith, rallied to defend their home. Among the most formidable was the Mystic Overlord, the capable leader who emerged as the beacon of hope. With unparalleled godlike abilities, the Mystic Overlord and other divine mages faced unimaginable challenges and formidable adversaries from the other universe. Despite their indomitable power, the battle exacted a heavy toll on Eldralith, culminating in a hard-fought victory. However, this triumph came at the ultimate cost, the Mystic Overlord's own life. But the legacy of the Mystic Overlord lives on. Reincarnated as Prince Evan Frost, he must navigate a new life, uncover the past happenings, and face new challenges as a new beginning. Chapter 1 Past. Deep within the recesses of my consciousness, I pondered my circumstances. Well, what has happened to me? I mused. Is this the afterlife? The sensation of my entire body enveloped me, yet a frustrating immobility gripped me. I yearned for movement, for the simple freedom of physical action. It was then that the realization dawned upon me. I had employed my final trump card, a remarkable mastery over the arcane, capable of bending the very laws of magic and reality that governed our universe. It was this desperate gambit that had led to my soul's reincarnation, its memories untarnished by the passage from one life to the next. In universe known as Eldralith, where power reigned supreme, the notion of resurrection from the brink of annihilation of only Mystic Overlord of this universe was a feat beyond reckoning for any powerhouse of Eldralith. Two Mystic Overlord from another universe had nearly succeeded in reducing me to nothingness. They attacked our universe with an army consisting of legendary Archmage, Supreme Archmage and Chronomancer Supreme, a threat capable of consuming the entirety of Eldralith, had been effectively averted by the Eldralith powerhouse consisting of me and many other legendary Archmage, Supreme Archmage and Chronomancer Supreme. In the battle I if only temporarily had harnessed my unwavering control over mana and cosmic force enough to bend reality, to activate a skill finely honed through years of relentless practice, and combined it with a meticulously crafted, pre-implanted grand magical circle. This convergence had birthed a potent reincarnation spell that can even hold soul of existence like Mystic Overlord, one that now held my hopes, my aspirations for a new life, getting me reincarnate with my soul and memories intact. In this current life, I find myself occupying the exalted position of a Mystic Overlord, yet the irony lies in the solitude that engulfs me. There are no traces of family bonds, no echoes of love from cherished ones, and not even the comforting presence of a simple friend. All I ever aspired to achieve was the pinnacle of power, a realm where no challengers could arise. And no adversary could rival my might. This unwavering ambition had driven me tirelessly, propelling me towards heights of mastery that few could fathom. In the quiet moments of introspection, I often questioned the cost of such unrelenting dedication. It had been a near eternity, an unquantifiable span if eternity could ever be measured, since I had first embarked on this relentless journey of self-discovery and power. During these countless years, my life had been an unending odyssey of cultivation, an unceasing quest to fathom the intricate and enigmatic magical laws that governed our world. Through unyielding dedication and relentless study, I had transcended the boundaries of what was deemed possible for a Mystic Overlord. The very essence of magic had become my intimate companion, an ally I had come to understand and manipulate like no other. It was this profound connection that had enabled me to stand triumphant over not one, but two formidable Mystic Overlords in epic battles that resonated through the annals of our realm's history. Yet, even the mightiest of ambitions can lead to unforeseen consequences. The pursuit of power had come at the cost of personal connection, isolating me in a world where I stood as an unparalleled force, yet also as a solitary figure. In the aftermath of my latest battle, a battle that had pushed the boundaries of my abilities to their very limits, I found myself teetering on the precipice of oblivion. Mortally wounded and with no other recourse, I had been forced to invoke the very last remnants of my power, the elusive reincarnation spell. As the incantation left my lips, I couldn't help but wonder if this gamble would grant me not only a second chance at life but the opportunity to escape the isolation that had become the unintended consequence of my relentless pursuit of power. Perhaps, in this new beginning, I could forge connections, find companionship, and discover the elusive fulfillment that had eluded me for so long. Chapter 2 New Beginning. Amidst the ethereal display of arcane phenomena in the capital's skies, a breathtaking fusion of lightning and various magical spectacles, Iceria, the heart of Frostwind, stood as a testament to the Empire's unparalleled might. Renowned across the vast human continent, often referred to as the Sun Continent, Frostwind's grandeur was reflected not only in its formidable power but also in its awe-inspiring capital. The cityscape below shimmered with a surreal brilliance, as if touched by the very hand of magic. Luminous spells and crackling energy painted celestial artistry upon the heavens, and the citizens of Iceria looked skyward, their hearts swelling with a mix of pride and wonder at the manifestation of their empire's strength. Within the confines of a room that radiated majestic splendor, where every detail spoke of opulence and regal taste, a scene of unparalleled significance unfolded. The vaulted ceiling, adorned with intricate gold filigree and studded with expensive magic crystals, cast intricate patterns of light upon the marble floor below. In the midst of this mesmerizing ambiance, a plaintive cry pierced the air, resonating within the closed chamber where Empress Anastasia Frost was ushering a new life into the world. The attending doctor, a woman of both experience and expertise, gently cradled the newborn prince in her skilled hands. A furrowed brow betrayed her puzzlement as she softly inquired, "Why does the prince not cry?" Queen Anastasia, her emerald eyes aglow with a mix of anticipation and worry, leaned forward, her presence commanding. She implored the doctor, her voice laced with maternal concern, "Is there something amiss, doctor? Is my child healthy? Are there any concerns or problems that we must address?" As the heavy chamber door swung open, a hush fell over the room, the air thick with a sense of anticipation and reverence. In walked Emperor Alaric, the revered ruler of Frostwind, his presence exuding an aura of authority that commanded respect from all who beheld him. The room seemed to bow to his eminence, the very walls echoing his storied lineage and the weight of his responsibilities. By his side was Princess Celestia, a striking young woman in her 20s, her bearing a captivating blend of grace and curiosity. Her eyes, like pools of reflected starlight, held a wisdom beyond her years, and her presence lent a soothing counterpoint to the tension that gripped the chamber. She moved with a quiet confidence, an unspoken acknowledgement of her place in the annals of Frostwind's history. Their entrance was marked by the Emperor's stern concern as he inquired, "What's wrong?" His voice, a resonant timbre that bespoke both power and paternal warmth, hung in the air, cutting through the stillness like a blade. It was a question that held the weight of an empire's worries, a testament to his devotion not only to his realm, but to the life that had just entered the world. The doctor, a master mage of the 9th level, her presence a reassuring pillar of medical expertise, looked up from her duties. She was renowned throughout the continent as one of the finest healers, a living legend in the field of arcane medicine. Her eyes, a clear reflection of a lifetime spent in the pursuit of healing, met those of the Emperor. With a measured tone that bespoke both respect and candor, she spoke, "Your Majesty, there is no immediate cause for alarm. The prince is in good health. However, it is a curious matter that I must confess to you. In all my years of tending to births, I have never seen a child remain so serenely quiet upon entering the world. It is quite extraordinary, to say the least. Congratulations, Your Majesties, on the birth of your son." Empress Anastasia, her regal bearing softened by the tender light in her eyes, accepted the doctor's words with a gracious nod. She gently cradled the newborn prince in her arms, a maternal embrace that seemed to radiate a profound sense of love and protection. She turned to her husband, her voice a gentle melody. "My love," she said softly, "come and meet our son." Emperor Alaric, a towering figure in both stature and authority, approached the empress and their newborn son. He looked upon the baby with a mixture of paternal pride and apprehension, his heart swelling with a love that transcended empires. In his regal, transcendent voice that echoed through the chamber, he addressed the doctor. I can't help but wonder if the unnatural magical phenomena occurring in the skies above our capital are somehow connected to the birth of my son. Will this extraordinary event have any lasting impact on him or our empire? The doctor, although seasoned in the presence of nobility, couldn't help but feel a pang of trepidation when speaking to the emperor himself. She replied cautiously, Your Majesty, while it is a rare occurrence, there is no evidence to suggest that the prince has been negatively affected by the phenomenon. If anything, given the sheer scale and intensity of the magical display, one might speculate that our prince has been born with the potential for the greatest talent ever witnessed across the 7 continents. Time will reveal the extent of his capabilities, but for now, we can rest assured that he is a healthy and extraordinary child, a testament to the greatness of our empire. The room seemed to hold its breath, every soul present acutely aware of the weight of this moment, where destiny intertwined with the threads of magic and legacy. The future of Frostwind, and perhaps far beyond, rested in the cradle of the newborn prince, a symbol of hope and promise in a world touched by the arcane. Anastasia's gaze shifted to the girl standing beside her, who cradled the newborn baby with a mixture of curiosity and wonder. Celestia, the embodiment of youthful enthusiasm and grace, couldn't contain her excitement. She smiled warmly and spoke softly, Celestia, you now have a little brother. You should take care of him, guide him through the world as he grows. Her voice was filled with the tenderness of a mother's expectation, a torch passing from one generation to the next. Celestia Frost, her eyes sparkling with stars and a heart full of promise, responded with unwavering enthusiasm, I will protect him from any harm, mother. You can be sure of that. And I'll play with him, too. We'll share secrets and stories, and I'll show him the beauty of Frostwind Empire, the wonders that await him within these grand walls. Emperor Alaric, a thoughtful expression on his face, joined in the mother-daughter conversation, his imposing figure softened by the familial moment. What name shall we bestow upon our newest addition, Anastasia? His voice, resonant and imbued with both paternal pride and anticipation, carried the weight of a decision that would shape the identity of their son. Anastasia, still holding the baby close to her heart, looked at her husband with love shining in her eyes. Her voice was a tender melody, each word a testament to her deep affection. We should name him Evan Frost. It's a name that carries the strength of our empire and the warmth of our family, a name that will echo through the halls of history as a symbol of unity and resilience. Both the Emperor and Celestia nodded in agreement, their smiles radiating happiness and unity, their hearts connected by the significance of this moment. With the name Evan chosen, the room seemed to fill with a renewed sense of purpose and destiny. The magical phenomena outside continued to cast its ethereal glow across the capital, as if blessing the birth of the prince with its otherworldly radiance. As Celestia held her baby brother, a sense of responsibility and joy welled up within her. She was determined to be the best big sister she could be, and together, they would navigate the enchanting and sometimes challenging world that awaited them within the embrace of the Frostwind Empire. Chapter New Beginning 2. As I lay in the opulent palace room, my newborn eyes, as clear as the azure sky, gazed around with a sense of wonderment. Even at this tender age, my thoughts raced, trying to make sense of my surroundings. It wasn't just the grandeur of the room that captivated me, it was the regal figures before me. My mother, Empress Anastasia, was a vision of ethereal beauty. Her long, flowing hair, as white as freshly fallen snow, contrasted with her eyes that sparkled like sapphires. Her presence exuded grace and authority, a queen among mortals. She cradled me with a gentle touch, her love evident in every caress. Beside her stood my father, Emperor Alaric, a formidable figure in both stature and bearing. His imposing presence was softened by the love that shone in his eyes as he looked upon me, his newborn son. His voice, as rich as the deepest forests, resonated with paternal pride and warmth. And there was my big sister, Princess Celestia, a striking young woman in her 20s. Her beauty was otherworldly, captivating all who beheld her. Her long, flowing hair seemed to shimmer like moonlight on water, and her eyes were like pools of reflected starlight. She carried herself with a perfect blend of grace and curiosity, a testament to her royal upbringing. As I gazed at my family, my heart swelled with recognition. It was as if I had known them in another lifetime, as if their faces were etched into my very soul. Memories, not of this infant existence, but of a past life as the strongest mage, flickered at the edges of my consciousness. Beside me, Celestia, my newfound big sister, couldn't contain her excitement. Her eyes, like pools of reflected starlight, sparkled with enthusiasm as she gently picked me up, cradling me with utmost care. I felt the warmth of her embrace, a comforting presence in this new world. Her mother's words echoed in her ears, "Put him down. I should rest now, and you should go back with your father." Following her mother's wishes, Celestia carefully placed me back in my crib, a sense of responsibility already growing within her. It was as if she understood that she had a role to play in my life, guiding and protecting me as I grew. The doctor, having fulfilled her duties, had discreetly left the room, understanding the need for privacy in the presence of royalty. Her departure left me in a room filled with opulence and love, surrounded by my family, and the weight of my newfound destiny as a member of the Frostwind Empire. As I lay in my crib, my thoughts meandered. So, my name is Evan now. I whispered the name to myself, as if trying to make it my own. I looked around, trying to make sense of my surroundings. The grandeur of the room and the imposing presence of the guards spoke of a kingdom of great strength. My sister had mentioned it was called the Frostwind Empire, and I couldn't help but wonder what adventures and challenges awaited me in this extraordinary place. 3 years have passed since my reincarnation. In this span of time, my existence has been marked by a continuous cycle of milk feedings and diaper changes. It's as if my mother's loving care has been determined to keep me under her watchful gaze, and I find myself longing for the freedom to explore the world beyond her nurturing embrace. Being an adult trapped in a toddler's body has been a peculiar experience. The most mundane tasks, like having my diapers changed, have become sources of embarrassment when my mind holds the wisdom of a grown man. It's a daily reminder of the unique predicament I find myself in. During this time, my sister Celestia faithfully visited me daily for the past 3 years. It was heartwarming to have her by my side, even though I was confined to a world of baby bottles and nappies. My lethargy, I presumed, was the result of inhabiting the body of a 3-year-old boy, unable to harness or interact with the intricate art of magic. My physical form was fragile and unsuited for the spellcasting. As the days goes by, as I drank my daily milk directly from my mother's breast, which tasted sweet like honey. It was the first time I have seen a woman's breasts in my life, but by seeing them I never had any lustful thought, and I future never will. After all, she is my loving mother. Even if I'm a reincarnated old monster, a mystic overlord from pages of time, but I am not a sick bastard like some out there to be a shameless, and I have my own beliefs. Even as I navigated the complexities of world in my past life, I held onto my moral compass, knowing that it was the key to preserving my humanity, no matter how powerful I became. It was a testament to the enduring strength of my character and my unwavering commitment to be a force for good in a world that often strayed from the path of righteousness. In my mother's loving embrace, time passed swiftly, and before I knew it, I had reached the age of 10. During those years, a growing sense of restlessness stirred within me. The world beyond, with its irresistible allure, tugged at the edges of my consciousness, filling my thoughts with dreams of independence. I longed not only to stand on my own 2 feet but also to live a life of happiness alongside my dear mother, father, and sister. Moreover, I yearned for the day when I could once again explore the enchanting realms of magic, just as I had in my past life. These thoughts filled my heart with a deep-seated longing, this time with my loved ones by my side to protect them from any harm. It resonated at the very core of my heart, a stark contrast to my past life of solitude, reminding me of the destiny that awaited me, a destiny yet to be fulfilled. Chapter 4. The Castle. 10 years had passed since Evan's reincarnation into the world of the Frostwind Empire. While his physical age had matured, his consciousness still retained the memories of a mystic overlord from a previous life. The grandeur of the palace room where he was once a newborn had become a distant memory, replaced by a decade of diligent study and introspection. Evan's daily routine had revolved around the pursuit of knowledge and mastery. Under the guidance of renowned tutors, he delved into the annals of the Empire's history, immersing himself in its rich tapestry of culture and tradition. He pored over ancient scrolls and grimoires, absorbing the intricate nuances of magic that had eluded him for so long. His knowledge grew vast, encompassing the exploits of emperors and empresses who had ruled before him, the heroes and heroines who had shaped the Empire's destiny, and the arcane secrets that had been safeguarded for generations. Evan was not merely a prince, he He was a scholar, an aspirant to a legacy that transcended the passage of time. Yet, a lingering frustration gnawed at him. Despite his intellectual prowess, his fragile physical form remained a barrier to the full realization of his potential. The art of magic, which had once been second nature to him in a previous life but not present him, now he was a young boy on 10 years old. Evan's determination, however, remained unshaken. He had not come this far to be deterred by the limitations of his body. With each passing day, he grew stronger, both in knowledge and in spirit. His dreams extended beyond personal power, they encompassed a vision of protecting his newfound family and ensuring the prosperity of the Frostwind Empire. As he stood on the precipice of his 10th year, Evan knew that the moment of reckoning was drawing near. The world beyond his mother's room beckoned, and he could no longer deny the call to venture forth and face the challenges that awaited him. The grandeur of the empire, the weight of its history, and the expectations of its people would soon rest upon his shoulders. With unwavering resolve, Evan was ready to step into the next phase of his destiny, to navigate the labyrinth of power, politics, and magic that awaited him beyond the palace walls. In his heart, he carried the legacy of a mystic overlord, and the world would soon feel the impact of his presence. On this particular day, a sense of anticipation hung in the air as Evan's mother, Empress Anastasia, accompanied him to the Grand Hall of the palace. The Grand Hall was a place of unparalleled splendor, a testament to the empire's opulence and grandeur. Towering marble columns rose like sentinels, their surfaces engraved with the stories of emperors and empresses who had once walked the path to create empire a better place. The walls, too, whispered with the weight of history, adorned with intricate tapestries that depicted the epic tales of battles won, alliances forged, and the unyielding spirit of the Frostwind Empire. Each thread woven into those tapestries carried with it the essence of a bygone era, a reminder of the empire's enduring legacy. Empress Anastasia held Evan's hand as they took their first steps beyond the confines of his mother's chambers. The grandeur of the castle's halls greeted them, and the bustling sounds of life within the palace filled the air. Evan, his eyes filled with curiosity, glanced up at his mother. "It's so big, Mother. I've never been here before." Anastasia smiled warmly, her voice filled with maternal affection. "Yes, my dear. This is our home, the Frostwind Castle. It's where you'll grow and learn." As Evan and his mother, Empress Anastasia, strolled through the castle's grand halls, they became the focus of the palace's bustling activity. Maids with graceful steps curtsied as they passed, their eyes alight with curiosity and respect for the young prince. Soldiers stationed along the corridors stood at attention, their expressions a mix of pride and vigilance, knowing that they were safeguarding the empire's future. Evan's gaze wandered to the palace staff, who watched the young prince with interest. "Why are they all looking at me, Mother?" The empress leaned down to his ear, her tone reassuring. "They are curious about you, Evan. You are the future of our empire. They want to see the young prince who will one day lead." Evan felt a mixture of excitement and responsibility. "I want to make you and Father proud, Mother. I'll study hard and become a great leader." Evan, feeling the weight of their expectations, stands tall beside his mother, determined to live up to the legacy of Frostwind. He glances at the faces around him, the diverse people who make the castle their home, and a sense of responsibility swells within him. This is the beginning of his journey to understand and protect his empire, and he is ready to embrace it with the guidance of his loving mother. Evan and his mother continue their leisurely walk through the castle, their footsteps echoing softly in the grand corridors. Ornate doorways beckon them as they ascend sweeping staircases, and Evan's sense of wonder deepens with every passing moment. His eyes are drawn to the captivating elaborate weavings that adorn the walls, each one masterfully depicting a different chapter of the empire's rich history. These vibrant and intricately crafted tapestries narrate tales. Empress Anastasia narrates some of these tales to Evan, her voice carrying the weight of tradition and pride. She speaks of the challenges faced by their ancestors and the resilience that defines the Frostwind Empire. Evan listens attentively, absorbing not only the facts but also the spirit of their lineage. As they reach a balcony overlooking the palace courtyard, Evan's eyes widen at the sight below. The courtyard is a hive of activity, with soldiers practicing their drills, maids tending to the garden, and scholars engaged in deep discussions. The palace is not just a home, it is a living, breathing entity, and Evan is now a part of its heartbeat. Empress Anastasia placed a gentle hand on Evan's shoulder and spoke softly, my dear, this castle has been our sanctuary, but it is also a place of growth and learning. Here, you will meet people from all walks of life, soldiers who protect our borders, scholars who expand our knowledge, and servants who ensure our daily lives run smoothly. Each of them plays a vital role in the empire. Evan nodded. Chapter 5. Before ceremony. In the castle, Evan like every day gone out of his room. That's right, he got his own room last month, but his mother or sister always come to sleep with him. Well, in his mother's room many times his father came to do indecent things with his mother, and many times Evan can't even sleep at night because of it, but many times his mother goes to his father's room to do their indecent business with each other. Last month at his 10th birthday he got his own room and his father said he will get a personal maid. He was excited to see his own maid. His father introduced a number of photos of a maid named Lydia. And his gave him information about her in a file. Lydia is in her early 20s, which makes her experienced but still youthful. Lydia is undeniably beautiful, possessing an ethereal quality that captivates those who see her. She has long, flowing chestnut hair that shimmers in the light, cascading gracefully down her back in loose waves. Her eyes are a mesmerizing shade of deep sapphire blue, often described as the most enchanting feature of her face. With flawless porcelain skin that seems to glow, Lydia has a complexion that many would envy. With flawless porcelain skin that seems to glow, Lydia has a complexion that many would envy. She stands at a modest height, her graceful figure accentuated by a slender yet curvaceous physique that turns heads wherever she goes. Her attire, while that of a maid, is always immaculate, and her uniform is tailored to perfection, enhancing her natural elegance and charm. As for her backstory, Lydia has been in service to royal family for many years, having joined them when she was just a child. Her parents served the family before her, creating a long-standing tradition of loyalty. Lydia has a remarkable mastery of her elemental affinity, which is water magic. One of Lydia's most valued magical abilities is her skill in healing magic. She possesses a deep understanding of the body's energies and can mend wounds, cure ailments, and provide comfort to those in pain. Her talents in this area have saved lives within the army. Because of high talent in magic, her beauty and her high healing ability, she was made my maid by father. She received basic training in household management and etiquette from a young age and gradually rose to the position of a personal maid due to her exceptional dedication and competence. He will get her after awakening ceremony, as his father said that he cannot let him have fun and wanted him to study hard. This month he will be practicing and learning about magic. On this day Evan was very sleepy at the evening as he done studied. After he strolled in the castle with his mother. As he walked to the dining room to eat with his family, he saw many beautiful maids working in the castle. Evan, my dear son, Anastasia said as they were walking. Next week is the awakening ceremony, where all children between the ages of 10 and 17 are given a chance to test their magic affinity and which element they can control. After that, children are taught by a high-level mage for some days how to gather magic from their surroundings. This training is finished after a month. Then you are given a herb and some materials which help you create a mana core. A high-level mage is also there to guide you to create a magic core by gathering magical energy and help you to lay a foundation to create a magic circle. Mom, can't I create a magic circle simultaneously? Evan asked. No, you can't, Anastasia replied. A core is a foundation, a place where you can store your mana. You can call it the first step into the world of becoming a mage or a swordsman. But a magic circle is different. Only a mage can create a magic circle, which is a foundation for them to cast spells. This can only be done by comprehending the laws of the world. A magic circle is nothing but a manifestation of a mage's law comprehension. There are scrolls which help one to create a magic circle. Mages visualize their comprehension as intricate symbols, patterns or runes and compress them together in their soul sea. But to take this first step of creating a magic circle is very difficult, even more difficult than creating a magic core. That's why many people who can't create a magic circle take the path of a swordsman. Well, I already know all of that and much more, but in order to not be suspicious, I have to ask questions about magic like a small child would. I should talk like a small child. Mom, I will do my best to create a magic core and then a magic circle and become the strongest mage and protect you, father, and sister. Oh, my son, you are so cute, Anastasia said. Did you say something, Mom? Evan asked. No, no, Anastasia replied. No, my dear, I was simply noting that both your father and I possess considerable strength, so there's no need to worry, and as for protecting the family, your sister, I, and your father are very powerful, and we have many geniuses in the ranks of our army and our soldiers. So even if you have a weak magic affinity, don't be sad. But if your magic affinity is low and you can't create a magic circle, you can still become a swordsman. Swordsmen at the same level as mages are not as powerful, but they are still very strong. And as for protecting the family, your sister, I, and your father are very powerful, and we have many geniuses in the ranks of our army and our soldiers. So even if you have a weak magic affinity, don't be sad. And in the ceremony, nobles will stare at you, because you are the crown prince of the Frostwind Empire. Many other children your age will come to talk to you. If you don't like it, you should ignore the other nobles' children and make friends with people you like. The prospect of the ceremony and the gaze of nobles weighed on Evan's mind. As the crown prince of the Frostwind Empire, he understood that many children his age would seek his attention. His mother's advice was simple and heartfelt, something he would keep in mind. Yes, Mom, he replied with a nod. After waking up to the dinner room, Evan and Anastasia found Celestia sitting at the table, waiting for them to start eating. Where's your father? Anastasia asked. He's working in his room. Celestia replied. He said there's too much work, so we should eat without him. He'll eat in his workroom. Okay, then let's eat. We should go to bed early tonight. Next week is a special day for Evan. Yes, Mother, Celestia said. After dinner, Evan slept between his sister and mother. He knew that he only had one day to find out which element he had the highest affinity for. If he didn't have enough magic power and affinity, as his mother had said, he would just have to increase it. After all, he had been a Mystic Overlord in his previous life. He had many ways to increase his affinity with magic, and he thought he might already have a higher affinity because he hadn't gone through the cycle of reincarnation. He had reincarnated using a high-level magic spell that bent the laws of reincarnation to reincarnate a higher existence like a Mystic Overlord with his memory intact. He would just have to watch and see for himself tomorrow. Chapter 6. History. By studying in the castle's library, I learned about various things about this place I came into and how advanced the knowledge people here have about magic. I also learned that here archmages are the peak powerhouses in this world. Grand archmages are like legends, and legendary archmages are like mystical beings. As to why grand archmages and even archmages are at a level that many geniuses cannot reach and cannot even dream of reaching, it is because they have had a fortunate encounter with a heavenly treasure with which they can hope to advance to archmage rank. As for the Frostwind Empire, it is an empire located on the Sun continent. This continent gets its name from empire named the Sun Empire. Empire of the Sun is one of the strongest empires on the continent. The Sun Empire led a war with another continent a few thousand years ago. The Sun continent is a very large continent that has nurtured many large and small kingdoms, as well as some empires. As of the present, there are 12 empires and 4 alliances, alliances which consisting of kingdoms that did not want to become vassal kingdoms under the rule of an empire. Instead, they formed a pact to protect their independence. Since this continent is very vast, there are many unknown places and vast lands. The Great Forest, a vast forest that covers the eastern part of the continent, is home to many dangerous creatures, but also to many valuable resources, some of which can be at the level of heavenly resources. Many mages and swordsmen traverse the forest in hopes of getting lucky, but it is a very dangerous place to navigate, and many die in the adventure. The Crystal Mountains, a mountain range that runs through the center of the continent, are home to many minerals and magic crystal mines which is very hard to traverse. And there is also a mysterious place that covers the western edge of the continent known as the Sea of Mist. The Sun continent has 3 strongest empires at the helm: the Sun Empire, the Ashen Empire, and the Frostwind Empire. For thousands of years, these 3 empires have protected the continent from outer attacks from other continents. Each empire has a grand archmage in seclusion and many archmages in its ranks, making them the strongest on this vast continent. Many empires have come and gone in the past, but these 3 empires have been present since their inception. That means there was a grand archmage within our bloodline, and it appeared to be my father, the reigning emperor of a strong empire, is at the stage of archmage, and there must be other archmages in this castle too. It shed light on the immense power and prestige the Frostwind Empire held and also the power held by royal family as I saw the history related my family. In addition, I have two uncles who had made rare appearances in the castle, most notably during the grand celebration held in honor of my birth, which was held in the castle after a week of my birth. The first of them was my father's younger brother, who held title of a duke. His dukedom, though not as expansive, carried its own significance and power, making him a notable figure within our nobles. The second uncle, however, held a position of even greater influence. He bore the prestigious rank of an archduke and governed a vast expanse of territory. His ascension to this esteemed title was due, in part, to his union with my father's older sister. She had been married to him when he was the young master of one of the 4 archduke families, recognized as the strongest among the remaining 3. Their union had solidified his position as an archduke and expanded the reach of our family's influence. Despite the infrequency of their visits, the presence of my uncles within our family's network added yet another layer of complexity to our already illustrious history. It was a history marked by grand archmages, powerful archdukes, and an emperor whose reign held sway over a formidable empire. As I delved deeper into the secrets of our family's past, this is all the information I got after reading some of the history books. Tomorrow is the awakening ceremony I have been waiting for, where I will see the nobles of this empire and the kings of the vassal kingdoms. I cannot believe that I have become the prince of one of the strongest empires. Young prince, you should be sleeping now, my mother said from behind me. I turned around and replied, yes, Mom, I'm going to sleep. She looked warmly at me and said, I will accompany you to sleep tonight. Yes, Mom, let's go. We both walked out of the library. After that, both came to his room. As they walked in his room, they both saw Celestia sitting on the bed. Sis, why are you here? I just wanted to sleep with my little brother. Can't I even come and sleep with you? Am I that unwelcomed here? No sis, I just asked you. I didn't mean anything by asking you this. At that I even was happy to see you here. Let's just sleep together. Seeing him frantically going on bed, pulling their hands with him, both mother and daughter laughed. Chapter 7. Awakening Ceremony. Evan awoke to the unfamiliar sound of birds chirping outside his window. He had grown accustomed to the gentle snores of his mother and sister beside him, but this morning, their beds were empty. He sat up and stretched, his muscles aching from a long night's sleep. He glanced around the room, taking in the familiar details: the canopy bed with its silk hangings, the carved mahogany desk in the corner, the fireplace with its smoldering embers. But something was missing. Evan got out of bed and walked to the window. He pulled back the curtains and looked out at the castle grounds. The sun was just rising, casting a golden glow over the gardens and fountains. The person who woke him up was a maid named Charlotte, who he had seen for many times in the castle. The Charlotte who woke him up was a young woman in her late teens, with a natural and understated beauty that shone through her unassuming demeanor. She had a tousled cascade of auburn hair, tied back with a simple ribbon to keep it away from her face. Her hazel eyes sparkled with a quiet enthusiasm, reflecting the energy of the new day. In her standard maid's uniform, she wore a crisp white apron over a light blue dress, a uniform that was freshly laundered and neatly pressed. And he didn't forget to take a look of 2 big beautiful buns of her, which were swaying gently as she walked towards his bed. Your Highness, the prince, today is the awakening ceremony. You should get ready soon, Charlotte said as she gazed at his handsome face after he had awakened. Yes, Charlotte, you don't have to remind me of today's ceremony, he replied. With a warm smile, she added, okay, Prince. I'll say no more about it. Now, can you come with me to brush your teeth and take a bath, or do you need assistance? No, Charlotte, you don't have to help me bathe like you did when I was a child. Chuckling softly, Charlotte responded, oh, my. Your Highness, when did you become an adult? You're just a 10-year-old child. I'm going to brush my teeth, he said as he headed into the bathroom, ready to begin his daily routine. After some time, I decided to leave my room and head outside to wait for my sister, father, and mother near the royal carriage, stationed in front of the castle. As I passed through the colossal castle doors and ventured further, I walked through a labyrinth of staircases and corridors. There are grand doorways etched with intricate carvings and magical sigils, that seemed to reach the heights of giants, while the spiral staircases stretched impossibly both upward and downward. There are polished stone steps reflecting the soft, ever-changing glow of enchanted crystals. Lost in the bewildering labyrinth of corridors and staircases, I grew increasingly convinced that I needed guidance. I came to a sudden halt and swiftly scanned my surroundings, desperately searching for a nearby guard. My eyes landed on one stationed by an intricately carved door, and I hastened toward them with a growing sense of urgency. "Hey, you there," I called out, my tone a mixture of frustration and hope. "Could you please tell me the way out of the castle? Quickly, if you would." The guard, who recognized my royal status, snapped to attention and responded with a respectful nod. "Of course, Your Royal Highness, this is the way." Grateful for his prompt assistance, I offered a respectful nod of gratitude to acknowledge his help and continued. I at last emerged from the intricate maze. What a fresh air beyond the castle's imposing walls, I saw. The castle seemed to shimmer with a subtle, ever-changing iridescence, as if it were woven from threads of moonlight and stardust. This enchantment was the result of ancient spells and protective wards that safeguarded the castle. Towers of varying heights and shapes are at sides of the castle, each appearing as though it were made of crystalline structures that refracted the sunlight into a dazzling array of colors. These towers were crowned with magical orbs that emitted a gentle, pulsating glow, illuminating the surroundings with an otherworldly radiance. In front of the castle lay the captivating garden, a view I never tired of from my room's windows. The garden boasted an array of flowers, each flaunting a unique hue, while a variety of trees, some tall and imposing, others delicate and petite, and a few that resembled ancient guardians, had been thoughtfully positioned around the castle's perimeter. This careful arrangement created an ever-shifting, natural medley of colors and fragrances that enveloped the surroundings, casting a spell of unrivaled natural beauty. As I looked around, I noticed the presence of hovering platforms adorned with intricate, glowing runes scattered throughout the castle's grounds. These platforms, I surmised, must be used for magical transportation. In front of me, I marveled at the elemental fountains that graced the castle's courtyard, each fountain embodying a different element. The water fountains danced with liquid grace, the fire fountains conjured intricate sculptures from flames, the earth fountains created mesmerizing patterns in the shifting sands, and the air fountains swirled with ethereal mists. I walked around the fountains and beheld the royal carriage, positioned in the castle's courtyard. It was an awe-inspiring masterpiece, a testament to craftsmanship and opulence that mirrored the grandeur long associated with the Frost royal family. Elaborate crests and magical sigils adorned the carriage's panels and framework, their golden and silver hues gleaming with a mesmerizing radiance. These intricate symbols served a dual purpose, representing both the illustrious lineage of the royal family and the protective enchantments woven into the very essence of the carriage. Additionally, prominently displayed on the carriage, I noticed the crest of the Frost royal family, a majestic emblem depicting a formidable frost dragon, a symbol of their unique heritage and their connection to the elemental forces of ice and cold. 4 royal guards, dressed in resplendent uniforms and gleaming armor, stood at attention on either side of the carriage, their imposing presence a testament to their unwavering commitment to safeguarding the royal family.